Thanks, Trav.
No worries.
I think if you plonk yourself there...
Yeah. Here's yours.
Oh, look at that guy.
Some edible
Can
flowers.
you eat those flowers?
Yeah, they're edible.
Cool. Mmm. This one's nice too. That one's not so nice. Don't tell Trav. Right, I'm sitting here at the Sunrise Shack. About to sit down with Travis Smith. Absolute legend of a bloke. From here. Rides for hub boards. Total ledge. Podcast started without ya.
Oh, no way.
Uh-huh.
Sick. Oh, we're filming as well.
We're filming.
Hell yeah.
There's no use doing a podcast at the Sunrise Shack without filming it.
Yeah.
It's too pretty.
Sure, it's too pretty. We'll probably hear some cars driving by, maybe some chickens chirping.
Yeah, the chickens are probably the main hazard around here, aren't they?
For sure. They'll steal your meal if you don't watch out. It's pretty wild.
This whole Sunrise Shack business is taken off.
Yeah, it's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you kick it off?
So I actually, I don't know. My whole life story is interesting. I mean, I've been bodyboarding my.
Oh, we're gonna get through the whole lot.
Yeah, we're gonna get through all of it. But I mean, I started bodyboarding at like age 6. Just fell in love with it. And where I'm from on Kauai is just like so good for it. There's so many cool little waves for it. And yeah, I mean, I got to the point where when I was like 17 years old, I was like, I really want to be able to kind of make a good living. I don't know, like, I think I'd have to be the best bodyboarder in the world in order to do that, and I just didn't feel like making that effort really.
Yep.
I just had more interest out there, but I love bodyboarding. That's like my main passion, I would say. But just that kind of desire took me in a different kind of way. So I ended up getting scouted for some modeling stuff.
Yeah, well, this is interesting. Like, you were a male model for many, many years.
Totally. So I kind of actually...
That's crazy.
Dipped out of the scene for a little bit, missed a few banging pipe contests and stuff, but I don't know, it was wild. I found myself, like, walking for Versace in Milan, like, meeting Donatella and, like, just crazy things that I never, ever thought,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so... I ended up living in New York by myself for 6 years, and that was like my hub, and I'd live in Europe for a little bit, or just kind of jet around the world from there. And I actually would bodyboard whenever there's a good swell, and I had my buddy Timmy Tilton. He's a bodyboarder from New Jersey, and we'd always do like East Coast strike missions.
Oh, sick. Okay, so you did actually get into the cold water. Was that during the winter months mostly?
I actually always came home for the winter.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, throughout the summer and like fall and spring, we'd always kind of be on it. And I'd probably surf every 6 weeks or so, not too often, but often enough. And yeah, so I ended up doing like, I just have always really been into health and different things. And we're obviously from Kauai, and so is Laird Hamilton, and we kind of see him sometimes and stuff, and we heard about like the bulletproof coffee from him like a while ago, probably like 8 years ago, 9 years ago. So we got like super crafty in the kitchen. We started blending all these crazy things and just feeling like major boost from this coffee, and just like so excited about it. So just a few years on our own, like me and my brothers just developing these own kind of recipes and stuff, we ended up having like kind of our own little thing within the bulletproof realm. Like, I feel like bulletproof coffee was more basic. It was just coconut oil and grass-fed butter, and that's it. And now we're like throwing in like macadamia nut butter, or almond butter, like different things to kind of make it even more flavorful. And so that just turned into something bigger. And when I was in New York, living there, I ended up doing farmers markets and stuff.
Oh, okay. So in between the modeling gigs, you were doing farmers markets with this kind of bulletproof stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just for pretty much just the last year, I was there. Thank you, Drew.
Was there a financial need for you to do this, or was it just your passion?
It was really just a passion for me.
I was going to say, the modeling sounds like you would have been earning some decent money.
Yeah, I mean, modeling's interesting, you know. I think, you know, like if you're a female model, I think the potential is massive. You know, you could maybe make like $1 million a year or something, you know, if you're really killing it. But I think for male modeling, it can be a little capped. I think you can do super well.
Right.
But it's kind of a weird thing. You know, you don't know when your next gig's coming. You're not making steady money month to month, and you're living in New York City, which is like, you know, spending a lot of money just on rent alone.
Mm-hmm. So it wasn't as glamorous as it might have looked from the outside?
No, I don't think it is, you know. I think, I mean, even like the first 2 years, I was living in like a model apartment, and you know, I was sleeping in a 1 bedroom with like a bunch of bunk beds, you know.
You're
like
kidding.
Six of us in one
So
room.
this is almost like, obviously my mind just goes to the Zoolander movie as soon as this conversation comes up. Right? And I'm just like...
Absolutely, I mean...
So it was, because there is a scene in that movie where all these men are living in a home together, and they're like, got bunks and shit. And so it's real.
I mean, it's kind of a cool experience.
Yeah.
You know, if you're young and you're just, you know, maybe you don't really care about your living situation or something. But I mean, like my roommates were like a guy from Switzerland, a guy from the UK,
cool,
and like a guy from Sweden, and I just barely even knew where those places were at the time.
Yeah.
So it's just a really like amazing experience to just bond with people that, you know, like when I said, oh, I'm from Hawaii, they're like, oh, like, is there cars there? You know, like they really didn't know where I came from. You know?
Now it sounds a lot more like Zoolander when you say that.
They didn't know anything. See you, Drew.
See you, bro.
Take care.
So that's so funny. So
180 difference.
Yeah, exactly.
Flip, you know?
But like, what was the like? Was it a fun time in your life to be doing this? Like, were you having a good time, or was it actually stressful?
I mean,
seems like it could have been a bit of both.
Both, yeah. Like, you know, it's funny. The only thing you can really focus on is like being as fit as possible and like not being like hungover, you know?
Not being hungover, okay. Because a lot of parties and stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's craziest opportunities to just go wild, you know? But I would definitely just, you know, tone it back, and I was pretty responsible and stuff, you know?
Okay, so you didn't get overwhelmed by it?
No, not really, but it was just like, what got me was just like kind of the financial pressure of not knowing when the next job's coming.
Right.
And I just really didn't like that, like, instability.
Yeah.
You know, especially with kind of my high expenses and stuff. And then I think the biggest thing was just like, I love Hawaii and this is always home. And I was just like, never thinking I was really gonna move away from Hawaii, you know? It just was a temporary thing.
I was gonna say, that must have been a hard thing for a guy growing up on an island like Hawaii, and then suddenly you're in New York City. You're not just in a city, you're in one of the busiest cities in the world.
Totally.
And it's cold and it's grey and it's everything in between.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you're like the kid from Kauai doing this stuff.
Totally. I mean, it
must have been wild.
Like, the funny comparison was like, in the day in a life in Kauai, like in the afternoon, I want to go have some fun. What do? I drive around, check some waves, maybe go get some barrels and have some fun in the ocean. I'm psyched, you know? Yeah. Like, if you could put a value on that, maybe I'd pay like $300 for that experience, you know? But like, or more, who knows, you know? If it's an all-time session, you know, maybe more.
If it's down the road here.
But like, and then if you compare it to like, okay, you have a free afternoon in New York, what do you want to do? It's like, okay, you can go like pay for some experience. It's like, what is this experience, you know? It's like, you can go like eat a freaking legendary cake from this cake factory, you know? Like, that's the experience that people are seeking, or like, it's like shopping, or you know, just something that really didn't in line with like what I was stoked on.
No.
I started to just take a train up north to like North New York, and I would just like go camping in the forest.
Yeah,
stuff, you know? So that was like what I was stoked
on. It ain't the same thing. You know, there's no, because you're missing that, you know, because I've lived outside of my comfort zone a lot too, being in Sweden for many years, and I know that you don't get the same adrenaline fix. That's probably the worst bit. There's no adrenaline to be, and then you got to find it elsewhere. And like this, I think this is why guys like, they go and drink a lot, or they go and take other risks that they can take in their day-to-day life just to get a little kick. Drugs as well come into the game. You know, like it's a tough thing if you're used to having that release of endorphins from the adrenaline rush of riding a bodyboard or surfing.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But when was there a moment in the modeling? Actually, I can't move on from the modeling yet because it's too kind of interesting and it's a very unique aspect about your kind of story into the bodyboarding world. But like, what's the weirdest, funniest experience? Can you share a story from the modeling world that's just like this one time?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting. I got scouted out of nowhere, and I was actually in Alamana Shopping Center here.
Oh, right.
And like this random guy kind of scouted me.
That must be weird to begin with.
Yeah, I didn't want to do
it. What does he say? Hey, bro, you're beautiful.
I don't know.
I want to work with you.
Are you interested in like maybe making a lot of money from modeling, blah, 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 I was actually really young at the time. I was like 15. And
right.
So I just got the business card and I just gave it to my mom.
Yeah.
I was just like, I don't know, that weird opportunity. And then she actually pursued it without me knowing.
Go mom.
So that's kind of how it started. But, then kind of years of just like on the fence about it, maybe booking little local gigs and stuff like that. I ended up like, after graduating high school, I made the big step out to New York and like signed to the top agency, and I booked like a Versace campaign within like the first month of starting, which is like pretty gnarly. And so I flew out to Milan and did all that, and that was a funny thing. They gave me a full spray tan on my whole body. Naked. I had to do it.
You had to get fully naked when they sprayed you.
Yeah, like a girl came into my hotel room.
How old are you?
I was like 18.
Wow. Okay,
like,
so this would have been really confronting. Yeah.
Yeah, just like
spray tan.
My agent like kind of let me know that it was gonna happen and stuff, and so I was like standing in my shower. They had like plastic everywhere, and this girl's just like spraying like my whole body. And it was funny because like I was already pretty tan, but it was just it was a thing that everyone had to do and like to like balance it all out or whatever.
Oh, God.
So that was funny. I mean, there's so many crazy things. It's like I didn't even notice what I was wearing a lot of the times. Like this one time for Versace show, because I worked with them a bunch of times, but I was wearing like a chinchilla fur coat.
So what's the chinchilla gnarly. Again? Like a full...
It's like a cute little, I don't know what kind of category. It's like a beautiful rodent. It's like cool. Like people have them as pets and stuff.
And really they also cute, turn them into coats.
Yeah. Oh, so I mean, it'd be like 25 chinchillas probably in this one coat. And this coat costs 200,000 euros.
And you're wearing it.
Yeah, I had no idea. They didn't give you no backstory, And yeah, you have like these funny, like after the show or whatever, you're still wearing it, and you have this like fashion press come up to you and just they'll be like, oh, like tell us what you're wearing, and you're just like, I have no idea. Like I can't help you there. I don't even know what this thing is called. Is this a jacket or a coat or Fashion gets pretty crazy, and I just like coming from Hawaii, I just like really had zero background.
What was there the whole thing? Because like with the Zoolander analogy again, like there's all this thing about the look. Like, did you have your own look? Like, was there something you had to do?
It was funny. I think I kind of had my own little blue steel look.
Yeah,
for sure.
okay,
yeah, like that's what like Versace was psyched on. Is like they want like a full like strong like masculine kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Like Versace is based off of like these kind of like Greek gods and shit that, right? So it's like. It's funny, they're not going for like a smiley, like loose goose image, It's like
they want the serious, the look.
Serious, So it's pretty funny. I mean,
what a funny experience.
That whole world is just crazy. I mean, I remember it was pretty crazy. I was shooting one of the big Versace campaigns, and I was in like this crazy studio where you had to sign a contract and then it took your phone away, so you're just there. Kate Moss is there shooting with me as well, and the whole buffet was like crazy. There's like 7 different kinds of milk, like goat milk, oat milk, like all of it. And then there's Donatella's little dog walking around, and this place is like so fancy. Like all the catering guys were in like suits, and it was wild. And so the dog just goes right next to the catering booth. Just takes a big dump right there. Donatella's dog. And I was sitting there just waiting, and I was the only one that saw it, and like the catering guys were freaking out, and they just like clean it up, and like she had no idea. But this dog lives like the most like luxurious life ever. Like this thing literally poops wherever it wants, and just people will clean it up for her.
Just immediately.
Yeah.
Like it never happened.
Totally, absolutely. And like she smokes cigarettes and she doesn't even really use an ashtray. Like she's just ashing on her marble floor and stuff. And like people are just like always sweeping and like, you know, it's just such a crazy world. It's way different than what we're used to, you know.
So what was the kind of the final straw for you to kind of step out of it?
Yeah, I don't know. I saw some of my buddies that were like into their 30s and maybe we're settling down in New York City and just, you know, like really stressing about like getting the next big gig or whatever. And I was just like, poof, I don't want to ever have to feel like I need to be in the city, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want to feel like I have to rely on, you know, this modeling stuff because it was just, the inconsistency was just like really takes a toll, I feel like.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. It's just at the end of the day, it wasn't really what I was passionate about either, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think in the back of my mind, I was always trying to find an exit strategy.
Yep.
And that's kind of where the Bulletproof Coffee came in, and I was doing the farmers markets there, and it was actually going really well. And I had a guy approach me for an investment opportunity, and he was like, I want to open up a store with you here in Manhattan. I was like, wow, that's nuts, you know? Like, I have no idea how to run a store. Like, I don't know how long I want to be here for, but that sparked the idea is like I could start something in Hawaii.
Yeah, okay. So it was that investment proposal. Did you take the proposal?
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
So you just dropped the idea in your head and then that was kind of it.
So I just literally packed up everything, moved home, and I was like planning on maybe coming back to New York. I had some stuff in a storage unit that I ended up stopped paying for, and they just seized it. You know?
Shit.
But I didn't care because I was just like, I'm not going back.
Cool.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like clothes and stuff, you know.
Not the chinchilla jacket.
Yeah, they never gave me anything. So. But yeah, I mean, that was kind of my thing, and I spent my life savings on just starting this, and
right. So you took all your funds that you made on this modeling life.
Yeah.
That was I guess you would have obviously spent some along the way, but like
for sure.
You grabbed your savings and you turned it into this. I'm going to do a quick pan with the camera.
Yeah, totally.
To show where we're at now. So this is the Sunrise Shack. But this is actually Sunrise Shack Mark II, is it not? Would you say? Or 3 even?
Yeah, I mean, this is like a cool remodel we did. We actually made it a little bit bigger. We connected it to the kitchen, so the whole workflow works better. But yeah, I mean, my two brothers are my partners, Alex Smith and Koa Smith, and Koa Rothman. He's like someone we kind of grew up with over here, because we're from Kauai, he's from the North Shore. Yeah. He knows the North Shore better than anyone, and so we're just like perfect partner, and you could be like our local partner. Yeah. Like, if you find us something cool, like let's go for it. So he found this shack. It was like a fruit stand. It was already existing, and we just started off of a generator and started super small, and I didn't even really have like a big future for it, you know. I literally thought I was gonna make like $10,000 in one winter, and just go find something else to do or something. But I ended up spending 2 or 3 times that and not making any money. I was like, oh shit.
Welcome
like,
to business.
Like wow, okay, I guess it takes some time to make your money back. But I think the incentive there was just like customer feedback. People were so stoked. And like we were getting amazing press too. Like the Sunset like World Cup Triple Crown events literally right there. And you could hear on the mic, they're just like, and the Sunrise Shack is right down the street, you know. It's like, and then I remember they did that for the first time, and then we had a line of 40 people. No way. And we had 2 little tiny coffee machines that only made 5 cups of coffee at a time. Oh God. Running off of our generator. And then sometimes they would like, if you tried to use both coffee machines and the blender at once, the generator would cut. Oh shit. So it was like, I remember a couple waited 45 minutes for their black coffee. No. Yeah, and I was like, okay, I think we need to step move on to the next step. Okay. Here. Yeah. So. Okay, so you've expanded, but you haven't just expanded. I mean, you've also, you've built out this site here, but you've also got, you've got a partner in Japan now who's launched Sunrise Shack over there. Mm-hmm. You've also got a pop-up or a more permanent place in Honolulu, or? Yeah, that's full permanent location. Yeah, it's in the Outrigger Hotel, like where the Duke's restaurant is. I mean, amazing location, right? It's really amazing, yeah. my dad is like a real estate expert, and at the time, how it happened was like one of the kind of head girls that runs Outrigger. She just was a big fan of the shack. She always came here for coffee and stuff, and she just asked me one day. She's like, "Hey, we got an opening available in the Outrigger Hotel. We want you guys in there. Is that something you'd be interested in?" And then I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't even think about expanding, especially to Waikiki." And then my dad is like, literally, like, this is the golden ticket. Like, this location is amazing.
Yeah.
So
because that's probably one of the most famous hotels in Waikiki, right? Where Duke's is and all that.
It's ground zero.
It is, right?
Yeah. I think I don't even know how much money Duke's does a year, but it's way in the millions. And I think it's top 3 highest grossing restaurants, like maybe even in America. It's crazy. Yeah, like if you try to just go up and get a table, it's always going to be a few hours of waiting. It's massive. It's so beautiful. It's right on the ocean. So
is that the one with the big circular bar out the back in the courtyard thing?
Yeah, they do have some stuff out the back.
I think I've had a few drinks there before. It was real nice.
Yeah, it's so super cool. And so I mean, I didn't even know how I was gonna raise the money. I didn't know how much money I needed. I didn't know anything, you know. So I mean, that's been a very awesome experience for me because I just have zero background in like running a business or even working in a restaurant. I think I did like a odd catering gig in my teens for a little while. So zero experience there, but I just this has been such an amazing learning curve for me. Even still to this day, I'm learning so much and just different things. But
does it come naturally to you though, or is it a struggle? Certain aspects you have to fight through. Different things that you're like, shit, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I've got to learn this or I've got to learn that. What are the struggles you've had on this journey? Yeah,
it's been so crazy. I mean, a lot of the times I'm in my head just problem solving and trying to figure out what the next step is because it's not clear to me.
Yeah.
And it's not really clear to anyone, but I mean, I'm not the first person to open up a cafe,
No.
So
it's
many
been
people,
done.
It's been done, so I can figure it out, and I definitely try to learn every way I can and read books and different things, and I mean, just through all the experiences and stuff, it's been really amazing. But at this point, my job has turned into just managing people. We have 40 employees now. Jeez. I think by the end of the year, we'll have 100 employees.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's just I'm really managing people at this point. That's my main job, and making sure my leadership roles, people can look to me and hopefully feel good about that, not get kind of a dicey answer or a negative answer or stuff like that, word travels fast, if I maybe say something what I'm feeling and maybe I shouldn't have said that, it ends up biting me in the butt, it's really that. And I mean, I've ended up hiring the experts that know how to do this stuff, the director of operations, he runs the whole Sunrise Shack. He used to work with Five Guys Hamburgers.
Oh, yep.
And he opened up 80 locations with them. So he knows how to do this, So I've really looked to people like that and seek advice. And,
That's good. So you've got the a lot of people don't have that. They don't know how to actually find help. They feel like they've got to struggle through everything and figure it all out. But
totally.
You seem to be pretty easy with finding help and understanding that it's a team that gets this done.
Fully, and I'm very aware that I'm not some expert in this, and I'm seeking advice all the time. And I mean, my dad's awesome, my whole family's awesome. We're designing a new T-shirt or whatever, and I'm getting input from all the founders and from
sick.
Even the girl that works at the Shack the most. And it's so I just really, I'm almost a soundboard. I just to hear everything, and then I'm a funnel of opportunity, and then I just take those things and hopefully can make them happen if I'm delegating them or whatever it is.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
So let's get to the bodyboarding bit.
Absolutely.
Love
bodyboarding.
When I met you, I think I met you for the first time in person in Eureka. You came over for the comp last year, and I was like, oh, cool, there's the Sunrise Shack guy. He's here. That's great.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think you had first heat. Did you have the first heat and you got bloody knocked?
Yeah, I got knocked.
I had big hopes. I was like, here he goes. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And you got knocked. And that was kind of was that your first kind of step into the to the international level of bodyboarding.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
how did that feel? Because like, I don't want to dwell on a loss here, but like,
No, totally.
you get headhunted in Ala Moana,
Yeah.
you know, and then that happens. You're doing some bullet coffees with a blender in New York, and a guy comes along and says, "Do you want investment?" Like things seem to fall in your lap a little bit.
Totally. Yeah.
And then you come to Eureka and you make a step into a zone, which is you making the effort.
Yeah.
And then you just get slapped down.
No, I mean, you know, life's like that, you know.
Yeah.
I think I've had a lot of like trials and tribulations through my life, you know, like even in New York, I was fully just dependent on my own dollar, and like I was shopping at the dollar store.
Sick.
For groceries.
Sick.
You know, like, and I was burning spaghetti and doing laundry in my shower because I was living in Harlem, and I'd hear gunshots every night.
That's hectic.
And didn't want to go to the laundromat, you know.
That's
So
hectic.
I mean, I've had like some experiences that I've had to overcome, and you know, I could have given up or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. I love bodyboarding. I love competition. I think like competition is just like, I think it elevates the sport. I think maybe there's different formats or whatever that could make more sense in the future, but I think it works pretty well.
Yeah.
I definitely went to Eureka just for the experience, and I just had so much unknown on how I could do on the kind of international playing field.
Yeah.
And I really, you know, competed my whole life growing up.
I heard this.
All the way until I was like 16.
Jeff was talking you up because I was like, oh, is he competitive or not? And he's like, no, he's not. He's fully into it, but he's you know he's just been out of it for a while. I was like, okay, cool. Let's see what happens here.
So yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing, like if my heat was tomorrow in Eureka, I would approach it very differently.
Yeah.
So that was the most. What I got out of that was like a learning curve, and pretty much what was going on in that heat was like, it was funny. It's supposed to be a 3-man heat, and then like local like ripper
That's
guy
right.
just
Cristobal
jumped
got
in
inserted into
minute.
the heat.
Yeah. Didn't even like, I was paddling out in the channel and looked behind me, and there's
Another
this guy
guy.
in blue. You know, I was like, whoa. So that was kind of a weird wild card factor that just like, because he just won the heat in flying colors.
Yeah.
And so it was like a battle for second. So that's always funny when you think you have a game plan and then you don't.
Yeah.
I think it's not really good to like rely on that kind of thing. You should more just be out there like, you know, in the moment and being present. And that's like the key, you know. But I think my strategy was like, I was just getting these little like pocket ride barrels.
Yeah.
And they really didn't care about that at all. Like I could have rather just done a Rolo and got a better score.
I know.
And I could have easily done a Rolo on all those waves.
Yeah.
But instead I was getting like these 3-second pocket rides.
Yeah, and you're loving it.
Yeah, I was like, I kind of got a nice little tube right there. You know? But like, since I wasn't backdooring or anything like that.
Yeah.
Then I had one wave that like I just somehow, I don't know why, but like it knocked me off in the barrel, and if I would have made that, I think it would have been a big score. So
I heard it was I remember seeing the heat when it dropped. I was like, oh damn, that was really close, wasn't it? It was a super tight heat.
Because the guy that got second was like a pretty legendary guy from France. I forget his name. It's like Pierre's buddy, the older guy.
Yeah. His name's escaping me right now, but Yvonne Martinez.
Yeah,
he was in
so,
heat too.
I mean, you know, there's no slouches. Like
no, you had a tough heat.
Ripping,
you had a tough heat, and with Cristobal paddling out at last minute.
Yeah. So
that took it to a new level for sure.
It was just a good experience. I mean, I think on top of it all, that wave is crazy. You know,
it's so crazy.
It was like the first time I've ever surfed it, and it just, I don't know. I've never surfed anything like that. I don't know. I think you could get very comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And the level of comfort I had at the moment was not super comfortable.
Nah.
I don't know how stoked I was to like hit it on a closeout over the reef there, you know?
Yeah. As I tried.
Like you did, you know? Where I was just kind of cutting out the back, you know?
Yeah, and I think like for me that wave, like Eureka is the place of my greatest achievements, I think so far, and my worst kind of result, like in terms of getting hurt and stuff like that. So it's like, it does have that double-edged sword to it. It'll definitely cut you both ways.
It's just kind of eerie, you know? Like I live right next to Pipeline, and I see it every day. And minimum, there's 20 guys out no matter what, pretty much. But like Eureka, I feel like when the contest isn't on, like there's no one even out there.
No.
You know, it's just like this ghosty vibe. And, like, it's so eerie.
Yeah.
And I just like, I'm like, So guys are pushing the level so hard during the competition, but why is it that like nobody's free surfs it really? You know.
Well,
It's
I
like,
mean, it's a good sign that it's a really dangerous wave.
Yeah.
You know, like because
It's
that's the
like-
thing. Like I don't think guys hit it. So I know Alan
Yeah.
Munoz is surfing it more and more now. Kevin Torres lives there as well. But like, yeah, it's not crowded. People aren't like hitting it and going, "Yay, Arica's
Yeah.
6 to 8 feet.
Yeah.
Let's hit it."
by myself.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly. It's
I
not
need
happening.
friends to
Exactly.
surf it with, you know.
Exactly.
And so it you know, it's definitely a gnarly wave.
Well, I feel like whenever, like, because last year that comp got pretty big. Like there was that, you know, it was probably
Yeah,
like
it got
you know
really
6
big.
to 12 feet.
Yeah.
And you know there were lefts that were still handling that, and that's really rare. And then some of the waves that we were all going, just nobody would surf that day out there.
Yeah.
Like
On a
nobody's
normal
paddling
day.
out on that day.
Yeah.
We have like a competition. We're
Yeah.
all just going for it. It's
Yeah.
pretty
Contest
crazy.
is on, you know.
Yeah.
Let's
Put the
go.
put the vest on and do it. I had the interesting experience of getting 2 heats with you in Australia after Arica,
Yeah.
and I got the first taste of the Travis Smith competitor.
Yeah.
You know, you and I nearly
I
got an
remember that.
interference at the start of that heat, and
I
I was like,
remember.
wow, he's not backing down.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
this is what he is legit.
I don't know. I just like competed my whole life.
Yeah.
I definitely understand like priority. and
Yeah.
the
It was
score-
cool.
The score I need.
Yeah.
And positioning and all that
Fully,
stuff. You know.
fully, because Jeff warned me, and then I was like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
And then get in the heat, and it's like, ooh, he's
Yeah,
here
yeah.
to party. Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right. So that
Yeah,
was fun.
Totally. Yeah.
How did you feel? Because you did Australia. Which other events did you end up doing last year? Or was that it?
That's
was that
all
you
I
two?
did. Yeah.
Okay.
Just Rican Australia.
But then let's fast forward to here now. You went in Pipeline the other day, and you did pretty well. Were you happy
Yeah, I
with
did
your
okay.
performance?
You know, it was funny. I actually did Arica and Kayama because of last year. I wanted to get into the pipe contest, and I didn't get in, so I had to do the trials at Makapu, which is like
rubbish.
a wave that I just don't really like ever surf. That was
Nah.
my like second time surfing
Yeah.
it in my life. I just don't really enjoy that wave per se, so
Yeah.
I ended up, you know, they took 4 guys out of 32 guys. I just didn't make it,
Yeah.
and I just was like, I don't think that was like kind of a path I'm stoked on. I'd rather
Yeah.
just have a nice seed and stuff. So actually, that's why I did Arica and Australia.
To get a little bit of a
to
seeding
just
build
get
up.
some points. And
Yeah.
so yeah, I was stoked on my seed. It's funny how bodyboarding contests like seed all the way into the round of 32.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in surfing. You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like in the round of 32 already.
Great.
I was heat 1, and I surf Pipeline most days of the year.
Yeah.
You know? It's funny. There's not that many bodyboarders that surf it. I think Mike Stewart like spends a lot of his time just traveling and
Yeah.
also in the Big Island and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, he definitely dabbles. I mean, he's been his whole life, but just in the last few years, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But, Tamega, he lifeguards there.
He's there on his breaks, and he's
on
kind of
it,
there
yeah,
in the mornings.
Yeah, so he's one of the guys. Jeff for sure. Jeff's
Yeah.
super on it. Like
Yeah.
he's one of the bodyboarders. And then there's like a few other guys, you know, like there's a guy Kuko.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but they like live in town and stuff, and they'll just come for every like third swell or whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So if pipe's like average, I could be the only bodyboarder out.
That's crazy.
With 20 surfers, and I actually know all the surfers and stuff.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'll just be like,
You're
I don't
sweet.
care what kind of equipment I'm riding. I'm
Yeah.
gonna snake all these guys that aren't from here, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Just try to go up there higher in the pecking order, you know? It's funny. But yeah, so I was just like so, I don't know, not like there's a lot of pressure on me or anything, but I may put a little pressure on myself to just perform well at pipe just
Yeah.
because I feel like I know the wave like really well at this point.
Yeah.
So yeah, my first heat, it was just super slow. Like
Yeah.
the guy in 4th place got only a 1-point ride. He
Yeah.
had no second wave. So,
Yeah.
but I got second. Ian Campbell won, and so it was like fun, but like it wasn't like what I signed up for pipe for.
Nah,
you know?
nah.
Like I got like one like decent barrel.
Yeah.
But I wanted like a bomb.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you're surfing pipe by yourself.
Exactly.
You know? It's like you want to experience pipeline. You know. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I was stoked to move on to the next round, and then my next heat was even worse in that direction.
Yeah, right.
4th place again had only 1-point ride.
Yeah.
He caught a wave in like 5 minutes, and then he didn't make the barrel. It was like a big heavy one, and then he sat and first priority for the rest of the heat, 0 waves.
No way.
And I ended up, my best wave was like this wide one when I was paddling out, and I just did like a basic flip, and I got like a 5, and I only needed a 4.2.
Yeah, that old problem.
And Ian had a 7.2 and a 2. Like, he didn't even have a backup. And
crazy.
So yeah, I needed just the littlest wave, and I just felt like I never even really got started. And Dudu Pedro was
he was in your heat as well.
Winning the whole heat. He got the one gem of the heat, and I mean, that guy has an eye of a tiger. He's like,
he will sniff out the bomb. There's no doubt about him.
He knows how.
So no, he's dangerous in any heat.
Yeah, so I wasn't bummed. I mean, I'd say those guys are pretty much ranked top 5 or so.
But you finished 9th, I think. Is that the result?
Yeah.
Cool.
9th. Stoked.
Yeah, it's a nice little finish.
Yeah, I think for me, I'd love to just get more heats out there.
Yeah, of course.
And fun waves.
Is your plan to stay involved on the tour this year? Like, there's obviously a few movements there which are kind of hard to gauge, but are you like looking at Arica again? Are you looking at Fronton, or do you have any ideas around that, or are you just going to stick it out, do some strike missions, and then... I'm mentioning the word strike mission because we're going to talk about your recent one.
Totally, yeah.
But what's the plan for the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think just at this point in my life, Sunrise Shack is the big focus. It's just like the way we're growing and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of the one steering the ship.
Yeah.
So that's the main priority. I mean, it was even funny when I was in Arica and stuff. I was just like having to work a lot from like the computer and stuff. But that's all good. And it wasn't as effective as me being here on the ground. So I gotta just be very like careful of that. I think I can have a few moments in the year where I can kind of get up and go.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm just like gonna pick my few moments that I want to go. I think the tour right now is in an interesting place with this shift and stuff. I hope that what is it, the IBC?
Yeah.
I hope that they are gonna be able to have like a positive environment, that everyone's getting along and stuff. Seems like there's been a bit of drama, and it's like
just a little.
Yeah, people flew all the way around the world to come to this pipe where pretty much bodyboarding was really discovered. It's like. It's like even surfing looks at pipe and it's like, pipe is pipe. Like, this is legendary. Like, there's no other better event. Like, I know maybe Fronton, you could maybe perform higher and stuff, and I'm not taking anything away from that wave, but it's like you gotta respect pipe for its history and everything, and it's just like they didn't, and they took the points away, I think.
I actually haven't even looked into that myself yet.
So, I mean, that's a bummer for all the people that traveled around the world and stuff, and I mean, for the locals out here in Hawaii, I mean,
totally.
A 9th place finish, if it was
it's a good start,
a good rated event, I'd maybe be stoked to do 2 or 3 more to try to maybe rank even higher. But
I feel like that's what they've missed in this whole thing. I was kind of leading a lot of the negotiation there around this and trying to get Pipeline recognised for what it should be recognised, and I know Mike was pushing hard and Jeff, but there's just this difference of attitude and opinion on the side of the new guys at the IBC, and I think they're wrong, and I think they're missing the point. And the big point is, I think it's more the second point you raise, which is you've got a bunch of people from Hawaii who would have entertained the idea of chasing a couple more events on the tour this year, and now they're probably not.
Yeah.
Now they're going to be like, nah. Like, so yourself, Kavika Kamai, like there's some good...
I mean, I think even like Jeff Hubbard's not going
to do it Jeff's not doing it either, So it's like...
So that says a lot.
It does. So it's, it's problematic, but I don't know, the battle isn't over yet.
Yeah, I mean, I think, I might still do 1 or 2. I just like the Australian one just because it's really easy to get to...
Super easy,
to Australia from here.
Yeah.
So, and I literally didn't feel like that put too much of like a speed bump into my kind of work life. So I really enjoyed doing that event. I know it's just like a beachy and stuff, but it was fun.
Yeah, it's a good part of the country too.
Yeah.
I think if you hung out there a bit longer too, you'd score some other waves down the coast and stuff.
Yeah, I'd love to. I haven't really been able to ever before.
Yeah, so. I think that's definitely something to look at.
Yeah, and then in my lifetime, I'd be stoked to discover Fronton a bit. I know that wave is so sick.
Yeah, it's full on.
I'd love to just, I don't know, be out there and experience it.
Yeah. It's a great event for Fronton. Like I do think it's one of the premier events for sure.
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
It's just so intense.
Yeah.
Everything's intense about it. So
Absolutely.
you're scared and you're
Yeah.
excited and
Holy.
it's cool.
Yeah.
But let's finish off on the strike mission because there was some really cool stuff that you shared. A nice little clip from a very recent kind of. I mean, literally, how many days were you in Panama? You went to Panama.
Yeah, it was like 7 days or something.
7 days.
Yeah.
And this is
Strike mission.
strike mission in the very essence of the word.
Yeah.
What happened? Just tell a story.
Yeah, so I mean, I was out here in Hawaii. We had some bad weather patterns for like 3 weeks. You could just see it on the forecast. It was not changing, just northeast strong winds, like bad swell direction, pipe and everything was not going to be happening. Also, a lot of like bad rain and stuff. So that just I think, made the idea start. And we started looking around a little bit. I got like a call from a friend. I'm always like, whether it's like Skeleton Bay, like I've been there like 5 times before. I'm always like on the lookout for like these kind of legendary waves and silverbacks.
So you've done 5 trips to Skeleton Bay?
Yeah, it's 5
Shit.
trips. My brother Koa has done like 13 or something.
Jeez.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I didn't realize that.
Every little opportunity, we just go. But I haven't been in like 2.5 years now. But it was easier for me when I was like, one time I was living in London, so I just boom,
that would have been easy.
down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was funny. I got a call from my buddy, Timmy Tilton, the New Jersey bodyboarder guy. And he was like, hey, what do you think about this Panama swell? Like, I've always looked at silverbacks.
Yeah.
And I just love that kind of style of a wave.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, yeah, I don't know. It looks like there's like 2 swells back to back. It looks really cool. And I like didn't bring anything up to Koa. And, it's like I'm always thinking like work first. And, so I kind of tell myself like how hard it would be for me to like shift my schedule around and stuff. But the reality of that certain time and point, I was like, I actually can pull this off. So I just brought it up to Koa, and he's like, I actually was just about to, like, I was thinking about booking my flights. He's like, you want to go? And so we just went. Like, strike missions, I mean, I don't know if you've ever done one. Or,
I have done a couple,
it's pretty freaking, like, heavy.
It is,
You're
it
just,
is.
like, throwing a lot of expense on the line.
Yeah.
You're figuring stuff out, like, so last minute.
Yeah.
And, like, so we ended up traveling all the way there. My board bag just doesn't arrive. And we're like vlogging it for our little YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So it made it super funny. I was just like, I didn't have my equipment, and like, it's like we put all this effort in, spent all this money and all this stuff. And like first day, I'm just like out there swimming in the channel at Silverbacks, and it's like pretty gnarly to get out there. It takes like 25 minutes on a little tiny boat.
Right.
And the channel is really deep and like super wavy and like washy.
Right.
You just feel like you're in the middle of the ocean. And so it's super easy to get seasick. So I ended up just swimming, and there's like 8 to 10 foot just bombs coming through in the channel, and the current sucks into the wave, and the wave.
Oh wow.
The wave is so weird. I've never surfed a wave like that before, but it literally feels like it's like a combination between like sitting out at Jaws and surfing the wedge.
Right.
It's the weirdest thing ever. You feel like you're sitting in the middle of the ocean with the waves coming through.
Yeah.
But you don't know where to sit. Like literally, like 50 yards outside of you, you could sit. And you could get like a chip in, and you could get an entrance into the wave, or you could sit on the slab and get caught inside.
Yeah.
So it's like the weirdest wave. It's like such a big range.
Yeah.
But yeah, like day 3 of the trip, my board bags finally got here after like so much crazy delays and just like trying to figure it out. And I paddle out, and like I'm all about like just, I don't know, being smart with the sport. I'm not trying to look cool or something, but I just recently kind of adopted a helmet into my
Noticed that.
my vibe, and
Noticed that.
also had the padded suit.
Oh,
as
you went
well.
with the padded suit as
Yeah,
well.
the Patagonia padded spring suit, and I really didn't feel like it affects me in any way. So I was like, why not?
Sick.
And that wave just feels super deep water and gnarly, and the hold unders are like, people get 2-wave hold downs like all the time out there, like really short intervals. And intervals and stuff. I like take off my first wave, and I fall, and my leash somehow, like from packing and stuff, I didn't tie my leash string very well somehow, and my board just disappears.
No.
And there's like an island like so far away, and I end up swimming back to the boat, and I'm like, let's go find my board, like, for whatever reason, as the only boogie board I brought, and I was just like, why did I do that?
Maybe there's a strike mission lesson right there.
Yeah.
Pack 2.
No, I did.
Oh, okay, it was on the
other
shore.
Yeah, on the shore,
no.
and it's like, no way we're gonna go grab it. So it was like my one shot, you know.
Okay.
I mean, I should have packed them both on the boat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we end up swinging inside, and I go and I'm looking for my board, and like, I just cannot see it. And he's just like, dude, this is like the biggest silverbacks has ever been. Like, it's really dangerous. Like, I don't know. I think your board's gone. And I was just like, I don't even care. Like, what else am I gonna do? Sit in this boat all day? So I just jump out and I like swim towards this like island. There's like not one person on this island. It's all jungle. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, luckily I had my helmet and my padded suit on, so I'm pretty good. But also like way out to sea, and he ended up having to go back to the wave, and I'm way on the inside. So, you know, I didn't have a phone or anything to call the guy. You know, I was kind of like just winging it pretty hard, and end up like 30 minutes of swimming into it. I just look up and my board's just floating in the lagoon right in front of me.
Sick.
Like it could have been anywhere.
Sick.
So I tie it back. I end up walking this whole island and end up finding this keyhole that's like a back channel. Like I just found this crazy zone, and I ended up paddling out, and then I ended up getting like a pretty sick wave right away.
Yeah.
Like, right when I got back out.
How far is the wave off this island that you swam to? Like, what's the situation? Like,
yeah, it's weird. It's like the island kind of like peaks over there, and then there's a big channel between the wave and the island, and then this wave just hits this deep water and hits the slab.
Yeah, right.
And so it just comes out of nowhere. Like literally, you could take off left and just go into the safest channel ever.
Right.
Like a huge channel. But the right just is like 2 to 3 to 4 sections of just wrapping and gnarly, and then they say like, I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I guess someone like dived out there or something, but they said that there's a cave somewhere near that wave that is as big as a house.
Okay.
That's like right next to it. So I don't know. It's just the trippiest wave. I've never surfed a wave like it before. Like, I mean, we surfed it for 3 to 4 days straight. I caught 20 waves the whole time.
Right.
You know.
So was that because you were being selective, or was this just the nature of the beast?
Nature of the beast.
Right.
Yeah. I caught the most waves out of everyone too. Koa, my brother, caught like 12 waves or something.
Wow.
So, you know, waiting 3 or 4 hours sometimes to catch a wave. But,
that's crazy.
Yeah, but I guess it was the biggest it's ever been, and I've never really seen any bodyboarders out there before.
No. I've seen a few surfing shots, but nothing of the boogie.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm very tied into like the surfing industry. Like I just know it really well, just because my brothers are so tied into it. And I seem to like almost approach my travels and different things like as a surfer would in a funny way.
Right.
Not so much as a bodyboarder. I love the bodyboarding industry and everything, but it just seems like there's maybe a little bit more information coming out in the surfing industry.
Okay.
So I don't know. That's been funny, but I have these waves in mind that I think I could bodyboard, and I've never seen people bodyboard and stuff.
Yeah. So what's next?
Know.
What are these? Or you want to share it, or
I don't know. I mean,
abstract geographic locations.
Yeah, I mean, I think big cloud break could maybe.
Right.
You know, I don't think any bodyboarders really tried big cloud break.
Like the biggest stuff.
Yeah,
like big gnarly stuff.
Yeah, one of those huge swells.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a little bit fast.
It looks it.
Yeah, but I think you could give it a shot, you know. But
can always give anything a shot.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know. Yeah, there's so many cool waves
I think
out there,
that's an interesting one. I've never surfed it, small or big, but it looks like it's the type of wave that once I have buddies who have surfed it, and it's kind of like once you're on the wave, it's almost like it can be a grower.
Yeah.
And you kind of committed to whatever you've paddled into there. You're not really getting out of it.
Now, and you're not going to really straighten out.
Nah.
Then you're in a really bad situation.
Yeah, so I've
never been there.
It's a scary wave to me. Like I look at that and go, if you're going to take off, you've got to be ready for whatever you're committed to.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I just love bodyboarding. I think the whole industry is really cool. I think we're not going anywhere.
Nah.
I just think that it's important for a bodyboarder to know what they really like about the sport, you know? Because I see my friends like Jeff Hubbard like doing these things that doesn't seem possible and stuff. And I think if a bodyboarder is putting the pressure on their shoulders, that's kind of where they need to be, then I think it can almost burden the sport in a way, you know? I think like to just surf with what you're stoked on and what you're like comfortable with, and that way you can enjoy the sport to its maximum kind of capacity, you know? I think if you're willing and able to do what Jeff does, then definitely give it a try, you know? I think every once in a blue moon I'll look at a section and send it, you know? I mean, that's not really where I seek the joy, really.
Nah.
For me, I love just like riding a wave. I love like a good wave.
Yeah.
I love getting barreled.
Yeah.
And I love kind of just like the combo aspect of wave riding. I love how guys do like spins in the barrel and different things like that.
I think that's more my interest as well.
That's where I really think bodyboarding is amazing. So I think it's important for people to know that, like, you know, why do you like enjoy this sport? What's the direction that you want to take your own riding? You know, I think for me in the last few years, just like seeing what everybody's doing on an international level and stuff, I do like aspire to definitely do like the best airs of my life and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's not like make it or break it for me. You know? Like if I never do anything crazy in the air and I'm just getting like the sickest barrels and stuff, I mean that's something I'm okay with. You
That's
know?
sick.
I'm stoked on that. But I mean, yeah, obviously doing like an air and all that stuff is like super mental too. I love doing airs within my boundaries.
Yeah.
You know? I'm not trying to do any like invert skyscrapers. You know?
Nah, I've tried that. It ends poorly if you're not. And look, I mean, I think people also, like, you're a fit guy, you keep yourself in shape, but Jeff is kind of like another level of fitness when it comes to what he prepares himself for.
Totally.
You know, like the guy is finely tuned to deal with the impacts of his decisions.
Fully.
And, you know, not all of us can make those decisions because we're just going to hurt ourselves.
It's so interesting how it works. It's like, I think if you want to be like a bodyboarder or boogie boarder, whatever you want to call it, I almost like calling it boogie boarding.
I dig it. It's called the Boogie podcast.
Yeah,
so.
I know. I just say I boogie board these days. It's pretty funny. But I feel like, you know, if you kind of want to just ride the waves and, you know, do that, then you can almost be at like a bit of a whatever fitness level. But obviously the higher you excel in the sport and kind of the more like techniques you're taking on and everything like that, I think all of a sudden you have to be like the most fit human ever, you know?
Yeah.
Like I think the guys that are like the most fit are like what's his name, Maz Emery?
Oh yeah, Amori. Yeah, he's a beast.
He's crazy. His whole life is dedicated to fitness in his sport.
Yeah.
You know, so look at that. I mean, Jeff Hubbard, he's been doing it his whole life. He's so limber. If you asked how much he stretches in a day, you know, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And you know, he's been like that like his whole life.
Yeah.
So, and then I think Louis Finnegan's a huge inspo.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like taking it to the level that you need to take it to be a bodyboarder, you know? It's like, I don't think you can just be like cruising and then just go do what he does in the ocean, you know?
No, not at all.
He's like so dedicated, and I mean, that's the level it takes. If you want to be trying to win like a world title or something, I think you got to be dedicating your entire life to your kind of your craft, you know? I think that's what it takes if that's what you want, you know?
But for you, you've got a few balls in the air, so you're not going to be dedicating the competition. You know, it seems like it's a thing that you definitely get a lot out of because you feel like it pushes you to a new level when you're in that jersey.
Yeah.
But for you right now, you're not going to be chasing, you know, you're not going to be chasing those titles just yet.
No, I don't know if I'll ever like per se chase the titles. I think a big goal for me is to be like a pipeline champion.
Yeah.
That's
on my list.
That's my goal. Right?
Yeah.
So
we'll try to do it in separate years.
Yeah, let's do it.
Because I value it, like you, know, I did come here quite pissed off about the lack of respect for the wave that I'm seeing from riders and also officials.
Yeah.
And I think that it's the biggest loss to the sport to not take this wave seriously and re-elevate it to where it should be, just based off its pure the reality of the wave itself, and then also the history kind of pounded into that reef by like guys like Mike, Ben Severson, Jeff. You know, there's a whole list of bodyboarders that have really made that wave special, and I respect every single one of them.
Yeah.
And if I can join that club by winning a pipeline, if I can join that club, that's the club I want to be in.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know,
That's
for me.
definitely cool. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think at the end of the day, the industry of bodyboarding, we have a huge impact globally. Like, there's a lot of people that boogie board and everything, and if we could tie those two kind of categories together, I think it'd be big for the sport.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you bought a boogie board at Costco, it's like, cool, if that's all you want, like, great. But if like you want to take it to the next step of like maybe going a little faster and wearing some swim fins, like, this is what you do. You know, it's like the gateway.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's ridiculous how they're so divided.
Yeah,
like,
they are separate things, aren't they?
I tell people I bodyboard, and then 5 minutes later they ask me why I body surf.
You know? I've had that a lot.
Are you serious? Like, so it's like, but they know what boogie boarding is.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So it's like, what? So that's all really confusing.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's a very small community that runs the whole kind of bodyboarding side of things. You know? Like, all like world champions and all these people are like running their own board companies, and you know, so it's a small industry. So it's like we can't like hurt these relationships. You know, they're like so sensitive within everything, and I think we all have to like really come together to come up with a master plan. And it doesn't really matter if like one country is like fully excelling with bodyboarding. It's like, well, if you're not working with the rest of the world, then that's gonna fade out for you. You know, it's like we gotta work with everybody, and we gotta all do this together. And at the end of the day, we're all just like stoked and we're having fun doing it.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, I think to just have maybe a few major events every year that everyone could really focus on.
Yeah.
Like, my idea was like you could have pipe, Eureka, and fronton, and that's it.
Yep.
That way, every bodyboarder could afford to do all three of those.
I'm with you.
You know, and then
that's basically what I was pushing for too.
Yeah, and then
simplify it.
After that, how do you qualify for that? Well, now we'll section the countries and how many slots per country can qualify for that, and then there will be a one world ranking.
Yeah.
And that way, like, I mean, Hawaii is a great example.
Yeah.
There's 0 contests here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Except the one that is on Kauai now, the second annual, the Garden Island
exactly.
Boogie Classic, and that thing's epic. Like, because there was like excitement behind it, and like Jeff and Chris Burkhart.
Yeah, they really pulled it together.
They pulled it together, and the whole bodyboarding community comes together.
Yeah.
And if you could just do that like 2 to 3 times a year in Hawaii, like somewhere like Hawaii would be good, and they would have their own little ranking, and everybody would have a reason to do it. And now you have an incentive to do it. And you know, whether you're like me or you know, Keahi Parker, where he has a full-time job, like I'm sure he would do it. You know,
semi-finalist at pipe.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
like he rips.
He rips.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the story of bodyboarding.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of rippers out there that aren't dedicating it because it just doesn't make sense right now. You know,
there's no
like, are you really
sense.
gonna go to Chile for 3 months?
Yeah.
Or South America for 3 or 4 months?
Yeah.
And like just to qualify or whatever, you know, it's like, come on, that doesn't make any sense at all. You know, so and we don't, you know. Like, most bodyboarders don't have enough money to like just do 9 events or whatever it is, you know? So I don't know. I don't think it makes sense. I think if you could qualify within your region, but also if there's like a one world ranking, so you know,
it continually
your
builds
results
up
from last year, you know, you're just good to enter, you know, the 3 events or whatever. I think something like that would be cool. And
well, I don't think we'll get there this year, but damn, I want to keep these conversations going with you. I didn't know you had this much passion for the organisational side, so I've definitely learned something from this episode.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think we're about to hit the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the sweet spot of all podcasts.
Yeah, good number.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
I really appreciate it. And I really hope I see you in a few more events, but also I just hope that, you know, I really do wish you all the best with the Sunrise Shack, because it's such a I've been here every single fucking day, and I love it, and it's really cool what you've created, and I do hope you get that pipeline win one day.
Yeah, you know,
that'd be good to see.
I kind of look at Mike Stewart as an inspo.
Yeah,
he's a lot older than me, and if I
got time.
If I have that many years, you know, obviously I gotta stay fit like he has.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, I mean, you know, maybe I'll get one opportunity there within the next 30 years or so.
Well, I'm cheering for him.
Yeah, every time.
Beautiful. Wish him luck.
Cheers.